Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Medina, and I just got up in the booth to do some commentary. I hope you guys don't mind. We have a knockout match, 1.4 round one between Adam Lutz and David Hoppa. I hope everybody's having a good night. If you can hear me or want to listen to me, just say hi in the chat. Appreciate it. Otherwise, you can mute me. I really don't care either way. So, this knockout tournament, if you haven't seen it before, is a unique format compared to the other ones. There's actually going to be 3 sets run in this one. The first set will be 8 ball, as you guys are watching. Scores 1-1, race to 4. And then there's guaranteed a second set of 9 ball, race to 5. And if somebody wins both sets, then the match is over. If they split the sets, then we go to 10 ball, race to 4. Race to 5, actually. Race to 4. Once it's tied, if it's tied at 4, then they go to a spot shot challenge. It should be exciting. I don't know if any of the matches have gone to a spot shot challenge yet. All right, the one that is shooting, in case you're not familiar, is David Hoppa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I should ask him before I hopped in the booth. All right, now that I got the introductions in the setting ready to go, take a look at the table. Looks like David has stripes. So he's going to shoot the 11 on the side. Going to try to come around. Oh, missed it. Hey, Fred. I see all your salsa. I need to buy a salsa from you. It looks delicious. All right, we got Adam just taking the easy pocket. Probably going to shoot the 6 ball next, or 1. Somewhere down there. Just depends on what you prefer for your next ball, I would imagine. Nope, looks like he's just going to clear the top of the table, which is also a smart strategy. That way you don't have to come back for it later. Gonna just play this in the upper left corner and then just come 1 rail across. 2 rails in this case, which is fine. Get a little extra stroke in there. So I know Adam Lutz is from the Sheboygan area. Does anybody in the chat know where David is from? I don't know where he is from. Oop, little too far crossed. But he still has the 1 ball as a backup ball. He's still fine. Now, the hard part about this shot is not trying to stroke it too hard, causing you to miss it, because we all know when we love to put that little extra power in there, we tend to miss the shot. So just got to focus on making it, and then just put a... Well, that was a smart shot. He didn't put the extra power on there. He just did the... rolled it up to the 5 ball. Very smart in these situations. Just happened to miss the shot, unfortunately. But he played that very, very, very well. Now, David has a little bit of table problems with that 12 ball. Doesn't really go in his open pocket of the corner, so he has to get on the back side of it. David in a real tough spot with this table, rest of this table. Missed it, unfortunately enough, pocket his Adams one ball. Gonna play the 6. I would imagine going up to that 5 ball again. Now this is interesting. The way that Adam's playing, I would imagine he's gonna try to play it on the short side and shoot long, but he might not have the angle for it. Oh no, he's gonna take the 4 ball now. That's a smart move. So try to do too much with the cue ball, which a lot of us make the mistake of. Unfortunately, he missed it, but that was the correct shot. Take the harder shot, but the position overall is easier. Thank you, Fred. Joseph, what do you mean by M? All right. David with a nice little shot on the side. Plays the 1 rail. Got a fortunate bump to give him a shot on the side. Little tricky angle here. Taking a little extra time, making sure he lines it up right. Smart thing to do. Unfortunately, doing that was not his normal routine, though, too. So I don't know if that affected him making it, taking that little extra time, or if he just flat missed it. I know sometimes we treat the 8 ball a little bit different. I have that bad habit, too. But the 8 ball is just another ball. Just got to treat it like that sometimes. I'm just going to try a new camera angle. There we go, yeah. I wish I had the camera angle a little bit earlier. We could see Adam's face. I always like watching his face when he shoots. Thanks, Pete. Surprised you're not here. You always seem to be here. Well, it's probably a little late. All right, we'll go back to that side view. Little tricky on the 4. Just got to make sure you make it. Ooh, hits it really hard. Fortunately, that's going to cause a scratch. You didn't have to hit it that hard. Cue ball anywhere on the table would have been fine. Yep, not surprised. Yeah, Fred, my dad said they ran into you. He appreciated it. I can tell you that much. It's like, there's a guy named Fred. I'm like, yep, Fred. He's a good guy. Fred, you're a really good guy. I'll admit that. Michael Parker also in the house here. Thank you for like and share, Fred. Michael. All the usuals are in the house with the 28 viewers. So for the new players, or for the new viewers, I should say, who are not used to this knockout, this is a new format. So just because the bottom says a race to 4 does not mean it's over. There's going to be multiple sets in here, and this is the first set. I saw 2 solids go in the corner. Pretty good break. It's just going to come down to how you like that 210. Well, 8-13. So almost stripes are better just because of that 8-13. But at the end of the day, it depends on how you like handling that 210. That's the only real big problem spot in this rack. I don't. Oh, okay, looks like he's playing the combo. It's fine, Joseph. We all did that. We've all been there, done that. Plays the combo. Hits it kind of nice. Gonna be a tough shot for the next one. Looks like he's grabbing an extension. Gonna go for that 15 next. I'd imagine he's gonna try to either hold it for the 14 or come all or play one rail for the 14 next. It's gonna be hard to get position on any other ball besides that 14 or maybe the 13. Try to play for both. Should be pretty easy too, Fred, because it's the same haircut for me and my dad. We look exactly the same, except for I'm like a foot taller. I always love seeing new people in the chat. No, Joseph, I'm glad that somebody's rooting for David. Do you know? Do you happen to know the area he's from? Tough shot all the way down. Kyle, thanks for the like and share. All right. Not an easiest out. Looks like he's going to shoot the 2 first. Just got to concentrate on making the first one. And that's exactly what he did. And he's dealing with the leave, and that's exactly perfect. I'm going to see if I can get us a little bit better view of that 7 ball. So it looks like that 7 ball might not have a pocket, so he might have to try to go. I don't know. Might have to try to go all the way down with it and try to break it out. Isn't quite a predicament. Could play safe if you really wanted to, too. Here to try to break it out. Smart wouldn't be bad. Play the 6, hit the 6, roll it along the rail, or even hit the 7 and stop it. Because with that 7 and 11 locked, it's that 7's going to tend to sit there if you hit it full. Lots of options. Like that's the option he's going to do. He's going to try to break it out to create separation from that 7 ball to make that ball easier to pocket. And doing so, he also tied up the 11-14, making that more difficult. So that was an excellent, well-placed shot. I'm imagining we're going to see a safety back. I'd probably try to just hit the 14, try to create separation on that bottom side, even trying to control and put the cue ball behind the 14. Could have been executed a little bit better, but created a long shot for Adam. Adam making that little tricky shot. Got a little tough angle on the 4, even though it's sitting right by the pocket. Might even prefer reverse banking it, just try to get a better angle. Marinette Northeast. That's a good hike. It's always nice to see people who travel for this tournament. Looks like he's going to go for the cut. Oh, no, he did go for the bank for the easier position. Good position. So, folks, that was a harder shot to execute, but is easier to get position. So, with the 11-14, I like that choice. Don't for going it that way, so that way you leave a ball on the table. It also, if you make it, you're basically out at that point. If he went for the cut, then he would have had a harder shot on the 6-7. The cue ball would be sitting higher up. Good shot by David. Yep, looks like he's going to shoot the 10. I like this. If he puts a little bit of high on it, he can sneak through that angle where that 6 and 7 is, and he can come for that 14 ball next. That would be the ideal position. Even if he taps the 6 or 7 coming through, he should get position on one of those, except for went a little bit backwards, which would have been fine too if he got on that 12 a little bit more straighter. A little bit harder would have been better getting on that 12. But still good execution too, or good option too. All right, this is a pretty close shot. I would imagine that he's going to try to hide that cue ball behind the 8. David struggling a little bit with his speed on safeties. Yep, he waved his arm for call safety. Beautiful safety. Anywhere on that back rail is beautiful. Just when in doubt, leave it long, especially at this when it's a 500 and under. Another example of that. When in doubt, leave it long. David, I want to say like a 50-50 make miss opportunity shot here. Should be one if you need to just concentrate on making it. You'll just deal with the leave, especially at this level. Just concentrate on making it. You should hopefully get a shot, as long as it doesn't hit the 3 and go or the 6 and goes behind that 8. But rule one, make the shot on this one. Plays the bank. I like the cut for it, but just... But it's all the player's preference on that one. When you're in this type of stream, when you're in this type of pressure situation, you shoot your game, you shoot whatever you feel confident with. If you're a banker, go for the banks. If you're a cutter, go for the cuts. I would imagine that Adam's going to cut the 7 in the corner. Going to be hard to control the 6. He's going to run into the 6. Oh. Think we might see a safety with the 4 ball. So I do like what Adam did there. If you haven't noticed, the ball is very close to the rail. If he was considering anything to do with that, he made sure his opponent checked and verified that it was off the rail. That's just good sportsmanship right there, just making sure that your opponent is aware of the situation so that way you can both agree whether something's frozen or not frozen. David playing safe back. Hey, if your opponent's not comfortable enough to go for it at that point, just play the safe back and let your opponent try again. Adam waving it off. In case you haven't seen it on stream, he's going to play another safety. I would imagine he's going to hit this a little bit harder and try to put the cue ball. That'll work. You put the cue ball as far away from the 11 ball as possible. I would like to try to seam that a little bit more thinner so he can try to get that 4 ball off the rail a little bit more. Because right now that's his real big problem is that 4 ball is just tied against the rail. It's hard to get down there. It's hard to get back. The more you can attempt to create separation with your safeties, the better off you are in the long run. But David with a nice little bank attempt. If he made it, he had a nice shot on the 14, so good try, good effort. See, and this is where, not trying to roast you, Adam, if you watch this again, but this is where hitting it thinner on the nice one and creating separation on the rail would be a little bit better. Adam asked me not to roast him when I was in the booth. I'm just a teacher, so. Great shot by David. Little bit of drop, perfect. And that puts David on the hill for set 1. So this is a guaranteed 2-set race, possibly 3 sets depending on whether they split the first 2 sets. First set will be 8 ball, which we're watching. David is up with the 3-1 in a race to 4. Next set will be 9 ball, race to 5. And if we don't have a winner, it'll be 10 ball after that. Very wide open break. I would imagine we're going to see the three ball being shot here. This is the hardest ball of the rack. Everything else after that is pretty wide open. I would imagine he can get on that three. If he can make the three, take it now. Beautiful. Imagine we're going to see that same shot. A little bit of roll. One rail to get position on the four ball next. Well executed. Now, the position you leave on the cue ball is what you prefer to shoot next. Do you prefer the 5, the 6, the 2 ball? Looks like Adam's lining up for the 5 ball. As long as it goes past that 6, that would be the ideal position to play for next. Because then you don't have to worry about doing too much with the cue ball. That's one of the mistakes that any 500 level under is trying to move the cue ball too much. Notice how he just had to stop it? Beautifully well done. I don't mind going 6, 7, then going back for the 2. Look like you're trying to go on the 2 ball now. Or maybe just overstroked it. Or hit it just right he needed to. Very difficult attempt. He's grabbing his extension. Got to shoot over the 15, which makes it difficult. I almost prefer bridge over the extension. A little bit unlucky break by him, the 14. It's so wide open, you either have to go for it or tie up balls. And I like going for it. It's too wide open. There's too many balls to try to tie up and make it longer. Good try by Adam. Ties up the 2 to the 10, makes it a little bit more interesting for the run out. Not saying it's makes it because it's something to think about. Good cut in the side. Now David has an option. He can either go for the 15 if he feels like he can make it, or if he can get better, he can go for the 15. Otherwise, he can go for the 12, kind of play for the 9 and try to get a little bit better position. Looks like he's going to take the 15 now. I don't mind this one bit. Just a difficult shot to execute sometimes. These type of shots, just remember to make it. Don't try to do too much. Yeah, that wasn't the easiest shot in the world. So, but yep. David with another attempt at the table. Pockets a 9. Would imagine we're going to see the 13 next. Could even see the combo with the 11-12. Decided to take the 12. Oh, I didn't even look at to see if it. I was looking at the table, not the monitor. So I looked at the monitor. I would have seen that it was clear. Excellent stop shot. Not doing too much. I imagine we're going to see the either the 11 or the 13 after the 15. Ooh. There's a lot of spin on that. He must have got no draw on that and put dead left or right. By the way, the cue ball is spinning. It must have been dead left. Got no draw on that, or not enough draw on that. All right, we're going to have David shooting the 13. All right, just got the 11 and the 8 for the first set. And that is for the first set for David. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to be moving on to 9 ball. And that'll be a race to 5 with the same exact players. Looks like they're going to take a little bit of bathroom break. Oh, cigarette break, actually. So now we got a little time. How's everybody doing today? I'm going to play with a little bit of the views. I think there's a booth view. Oh, this is apparently a booth view. Well, you can kind of see me. Room view. Got a few tables over being used. Replay. Is there actually a replay? No. I actually wish I could put the. I wish I could put the 9-footer on there because Kendall's practicing over on the 9-footer. Ooh, I can see the Brewers from here. Still 0-0. And we got a returning David. So yeah, we all saw Adam racking the balls. So the lag is super important in this type of setup. The winner of the lag actually gets the first break of all breaks. So that makes it so important to win the lag in this type of tournament because you get 3 opportunities to break first in each set. Yep, Kendall and Spencer play tomorrow night, and that'll be on Dale's stream. All right. So let's see if we can get a good look at Adam's break. Dance going head on. Made 2 balls. Great break. Holy smokes. So solid shot on the one. Just got to come one rail. So I didn't see this in person, but I saw this when I was looking at the time delay. I don't know if you guys saw it too, but Adam kind of looked off to the side and then he didn't reset his position. Just something to keep in mind whenever you do something a little goofy in your pool stance. Gotta reset yourself. It may not. I make it sound easy, but it's incredibly difficult. Trust me. Doing resetting yourself is so difficult. It's when you know you're in the zone, when you can reset, when you realize you did something wrong in your stance and that you reset. And the 9 balls are live in this, so if you make the 9 ball early, it does go down. David putting a little extra on that, causing the miss, rattled out. Just got to remember with that a smooth stroke. Make the ball first. Good shot by Adam. Comes across. Not much you can do with that shot. Just make it and come across. I would imagine we're going to probably see a safety here. He might still go for it. I don't mind that tap job. I know a lot of the 600 will be like, this is an easy counter safety, but when you're at the 400 level, it's very difficult to hit it thin. So what he would need to do in this type of situation, just try to hit it thin and send the cue ball flying and try to keep the 6 ball in the same spot. It's even at my level 525, it's easier said than done. Adam with a nice little straight. Just need to make sure he draws it back. It might run into the 7. Manina. My last name is Manina. Kind of like Nina, but put a ma in front of it. Actually, I live in Nina too now. That's kind of the funny part too. Tom Manina from Nina. Adam going with the two-way shot. Went for the bank. Used the eight ball as protection. Not a bad choice. I moved to Nina about 2 or 3 years ago. I used to live in Fremont, small town of Fremont around here for most of my life. With this type of shot, you just got to concentrate on making it. You'll deal with the leave. Exactly like that. Concentrated on making it. No matter what, you should get some type of shot. One of those little tricky angles, but still very, very makeable. So the scoreboard says race to 4, but this is a race to 5. Pixels, that's a long time ago. That's got to be 5, 6 years ago. That's cool. What's your real name? Or your first name, at least. Yep, my dad still plays pool. He was at the last knockout tournament, too. Well, the 1.3. Got in the quarterfinals. So this is set number 2. David did win the first set 4-1. And then this is a race to 5. All right, he did make the one ball, and the cue ball keeps spinning, spinning. Um, got the two ball next, but I don't think he has a shot at the two ball. Let's see if I can get the better angle. Yeah, that doesn't do much better. So I imagine we're gonna see a push out, and that's exactly what we kind of saw. Oh, Tom Lemire, I seen your name plenty around. You were at Vars or you're bronze, right? So you're at on the hill this weekend. I know I saw your name at the state level somewhere. Now, for those who are not familiar with what David did, let me just backtrack a little bit. So David pushed out so that way he doesn't have to hit the two ball first. When Adam came up to the table, he actually had the option to play the shot or he could give it back to David. Thinking that he could play safe or a solid safe, Adam took the shot. Obvi- in this case, it was the right choice. David couldn't return a decent or well, a safety and leaving Adam a combo. Adam not liking the combo, playing safe again. I don't mind this early in the rack. Sorry, just a little distracted at the moment. David with a nice shot on the three. With that type of position where the four ball is, you almost are okay shooting anything. Where that nine ball was sitting, it was kind of tricky. Oh, a little bit of scratch. Looked like he shot a little bit fast on his routine, which is yeah, I like on the hill. I've been there once before for a 540 and under high roller. Great shot, perfect position by Adam. This should help get his nerves under control a little bit. A little bit tough to get on that six ball next, but beautifully executed. Nice little tough stop shot. Not the easiest make for the next shot. But I liked how he attacked it compared to some of his other shots, taking it a little bit slow. Followed his routine, good pace. I liked what he did there. If he does the same thing here, he should be able to make this one, even though this one is a harder shot. Followed his routine, perfect. Hardest shot yet. Ooh, a little too much rail. That hurts. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Me and my dad might have to come up there. Good job by David by taking a mistake by Adam. All right, looks like David once again made the one ball and left himself with the two ball. Going for the bank. Kind of a two-way shot there a little bit. That's any player though. You sleep on You can't sleep on anybody. Anybody can get on a run. It's just our Fargo is basically how consistent can we get on the run, or even sometimes experienced. Because I get that. I get that a lot. I'm only a 524 Fargo, but I seem to get everybody's best game, whether it's, well, anybody who is in my range knows they got to bring it against me, so I get a lot of people's best games. Yeah, with this type of format, when you put $265 up on the line, you put in a lot of hours on the Diamond Predator type of tables. But it's exciting that just in the last 5 years, how many, at least in my area, like in the small town Wapak area, how many small town people are actually putting diamonds in and not just having valley valley bar tables. I'm just excited to see diamonds, more diamonds being readily available everywhere. All right, David with a long shot. Oh, looks like he's gonna play in the side. Just concentrate. Like I said a million times, there'll be a running record on this. Just concentrate on making it, especially in these pressure situations. You'll deal with the leave. Hits the six full and gets a position on the three. Nice job by David. I didn't see that four ball there. I was wondering why he rolled it up there for a second, but beautiful position. Would have probably liked a little bit more angle to get easier. This is where one of those where it looks easy, but it's gets a little bit more challenging because you don't have the steep angle to make it easier. You can put a little bit too much extra and get yourself tied up, or leave yourself long like that. Yeah, I don't know David at all. This is the first time I'm watching David play. I know Adam for quite a few years, probably 5 or 6, if not more. Oh, I don't know. Long time. Long, long time. Good. I make that problem all the time. So what he ended up doing was like, okay, I just don't have to hit it that. If I hit it soft, I should get position and get position anywhere. Problem is when you hit it that soft, sometimes you just put it in the worst possible position possible when you hit it that soft. Anywhere a little bit higher would have been better, but I know that feeling of making that mistake. All right, and David getting a roll, not leaving the easiest shot, but broken record Tom's gonna be here. Just concentrate on making it. And if you want to get a little good, if you want to try to do a two-way shot on this one, I don't mind seeing him banking it in the corner or back by where my booth is. Um, that way he gets position on the 9 and has a potential of safety. But I prefer a cut on this one. Just going for it. There's a lot of different things you can do here. You can even try to thin it, play the 8 up table, try to put the cue ball next to the 9. Looks like he went for the bank to try to two-way. Well, let's see how good David's stroke is right now. This is the true tester of the stroke. Wiping himself off. If he makes this, should leave him position on the 9. Beautiful shot. That view on stream does not. It looks easier than it is. When you're up there with that pressure, that shot is a lot harder than it looks up there with that little bit of angle. So the bottom says a race to 4, but this is actually a race to 5. And then this is set 2. And David won the first set of 8-ball 4-1. So David is 2 away from winning the whole match. Well, Adam needs 5 of the next 6 games in order to extend this match into 10-ball. David's first dry break that I remember. Adam with a nice shot on the 1-ball. Cue ball's in a different spot. He didn't control that cue ball like he was before. Ooh, a little too much. I would imagine we're going to see some type of safety. Sending the cue ball somewhere by that 3-8 ball. Hitting it thin with the cue ball. But there's a lot of ways to play it. Now, 9-ball is live here. So if he does make the 9-ball, it does count as a win. So let's see if he's one of those 9-ball players. Yep, he sent the 9-ball for a ride. Don't blame him with that 3-8, the way that these players are playing, just to take a shot at it. Sometimes it's just sitting there. You got to take that shot at it. You can't help yourself. I tempted to take it too. I imagine we're going to see some type of safe. I don't mind sending the 2-ball right where that 4-ball is. Nope, he went for it. He cutted it. Cutted it at a word. Cut. Yeah, no. Now I imagine we're going to see a safety. Or some type of pass. The harder version is to try to tap that 3-ball past the 8 and try to hide the cue ball behind the 8. That requires a lot of touch. We could also see a little bit more aggressive and kind of hit the 3-ball Try to hide it behind the 6. I think he can see it, which is why I said it's the harder. It sounds easy to hide that a cue ball behind the 3. Oh nope, he's got enough of it. He's got to play safe back, or try to carry him. That works too. Now, I like being aggressive here. I like going for this 3 ball because there's a natural 2-way shot. If you spin the cue ball a little bit, you can also hide it behind the 6. But if you try to do too much, easy to miss 2 at the same time. But at the very least, you create separation if you miss. Good 2-way shot. So yeah, so he can't really see that 3 ball. Hit it kind of. That was a shooter stroke right there. And what I mean by that, that's just a confident stroke where you just know where it's going to go. Not really caring where the cue ball or object ball goes. Just confident on your stroke. Ooh. I think he can. I can't tell. Oh, wrong one. Crap. We'll go there for now. Good shot by Adam. Way to use the rail. There we go. Now we're back to where we need to be. Beautiful shot. One of those. Just got to make this one. The rest of the rack is pretty much elementary. Just got to put that little bit of out of position out of your mind. Very hard to do, but just got to make it. There is no scratch. I don't believe there's a scratch. Well executed. Beautiful. Looks like Adam. This is one of those where if you have confidence in your draw, you can draw across table. If you don't have confidence in your draw, you have to go forward. Beautiful shot by Adam. Beautiful. Ooh! Got to shake off that near miss. That's exactly what he's doing. He gets right down there. He is focused. I like this. Gone straight in his routine. Didn't let it get in his head. That was perfect, guys. For any of you 500 unders, that was an excellent situation of getting out of position, especially for the 9 ball, not getting flustered, treating it like any other ball, and nailing it. He could have easily got frustrated with rattling that 8 ball, but he didn't let it get to him. Kept the 9 ball just like he did the 8 ball, bear down. Excellent out. And I say that like it's elementary. It's not. Trust me, guys. That just takes years of practice just getting there. It's if you could somehow practice that at a young age, not getting flustered and just treating the last ball as any other ball, you will be miles ahead of a lot of people. All right. First break since the very first break from Adam. I don't see anything that fell. David does have a shot at that one ball. Based off what I'm seeing, I imagine we're going to see the combo, the 1-2 combo. Going to try to forward roll it. Looked like you got a little lucky that that 2 ball kicked the cue ball out. Cue ball might have scratched there if the 2 ball didn't help it out. It was kind of close. Well, like I said, 9 balls live. If he makes the 9 ball, but it looked like he's playing safe. I like that safe. So, I don't know if he can hit this 9 ball, but if he can hit this 9 ball, now I'm talking advanced level play. So if Adam gets ball in hand, Adam can play that 1-9 into the and off the 2 and make the combo to win the game. If David doesn't think he can get a good hit or separate it, he should really consider moving that 9 ball or making it more difficult one way or another to do the 1-9. Now, if Adam wants to, he can do the 1-9 off the 2. He might not see it either because it's that 8 ball is blocking it, but that 2 makes an extra big pocket. Nope, he's going to go for the run out. Yeah, I could see that just because we have that angle from the booth right here where we can see right down that line where we can imagine it. But little trickier shot to get on the 3. I would imagine we're either going to see a bank in the side or we're going to see that cue ball go tuck behind that 4 ball, maybe a little bit of both. I like the bank here just for the 2-way shot. But that does leave the 4 ball a harder shot for the next shot, though. Good try by Adam. Woo, we're up to 38 viewers. Welcome, everybody. So this is a race to 5. I know the screen says a race to 4, but this is a race to 5. For anybody who's just tuning in, this is the second set of potentially 3 sets. David won the first set 4-1. So if David wins the next 2 out of 5, if David gets the 5 first, this match is over. If Adam gets to 5 on this set, then we move over to 10 ball. Ooh. I wasn't paying attention for a second, but it looked like he got down a little too quick, but that could be my not paying attention, though. Now, I like 2 rails, trying to let your stroke out, going to try to get position. two rails, but a little bit more. Right, but at the end of the day, just make the ball. You'll deal with the position. I probably would have done the same thing, got that same spot. A little bit off. So this rack, even though Adam's got a little frustrated, this rack is still long from over. That 8-ball's not in an easy spot to get on. It is not easy. Let's see. I wonder if Adam or David's going to try to play two rails, put a little bit low right, come one diamond, play off the other rail, and try to sneak it in between that 8-9. I might fail by trying to draw a cross table. But at the end of the day, just know that whatever you try, you do have this. You do have a safety on no matter what you try, as long as you don't get behind the 8. Get stuck. The cue ball stuck between the 8 and 9. I think you might have a window. I think that was a beautiful shot. Still not that easy to make it and get position on the 9. Gotta look at that 9. If the 9 ball moves, then it's a foul. Well, for it's coming in. Nope, that was clean. Scratches. No, didn't scratch. He might be nippled too. Wait, can I say that on stream? He might be outer point. Good. He might be stuck behind the point. Looks like he's not. Looks like he. I don't mind going for a bank here. Yep, that's what he's doing. It's 9 ball. Give it a ride. Something might happen. If you want to go conservative, you could try to roll the cue ball up to the 9. A little trickier, but he did get his. He did get somewhat safe. Made it hard for Adam. Adam playing that roll-up safety. So there is a little bit of angle. It's easy to overcut this, undercut this. Almost did overcut it. He did hit the rail. So this brings David onto the hill of the second set. This is, I know the bottom says a race to 4, but this is a race to 5. Adam needs the next, and David did win the first set. So, yes, sorry. David did win the first set, so if David wins the next game, this match is over. Looks like a dry break. Bring it down to the table. Very wide open table. The hardest shot is the first shot. Just trying to get position back on the 2. Or even 2 to the 3. Alexa, play safe. Which is fine, but I don't, no offense to the players here, but I don't see them running the entire rack. So I don't mind that safety one, or even playing smart as it is. Good hit by Adam. Ooh, almost made it. And he got safe. Adam got a little bit of roll there. Good hit by David. Most important thing, just making sure you get a hit. Now imagine we're going to see Adam try to go for the combo. The biggest thing is not to let the cue ball roll forward and get yourself stuck behind the cue ball in the 3, which he almost did. He hit it hard enough. Beautiful job by Adam. Little bit of a jab. That's the biggest thing to remember with those type of draw shots is making sure that you have a smooth stroke. He was a little bit off balance. Giving David ball in hand, he ended up missing it. So this is ball in hand with a wide open rack. With 7 balls to win this match. Good shot by David. Now, I don't know what's in his arsenal. I'd probably go 2 rails, which he is. That is in his arsenal. Probably a little harder, not hard enough, but either way, it's going to have to come around 2, 3 rails to get on that 6. 1, 2, 3. A little bit tricky. Or didn't come out hard enough. That 3 rail is a difficult shot to get position on. Imagine we're going to see well, I imagine we're just going to go for the bank. Oh, nope, 2-way shot. That'll work. And he's going to get a roll too. Oh, nope, Adam can see it. Adam electing to go for the cut. Beautiful cut. Beautiful cut. A little closer to his work. I would imagine we're going to see a safety next. Thinning the 7 and sending the cue ball towards that 8, 9, somewhere down table. Could even, one way or another, we're going to see a thin hit. Sending 7 or the 8, 1, or 7 and the cue ball separating each other. If you want to get really aggressive, you can kick at it. Oh, nope. All right, David, once again with ball in hand for the last 3 balls to win the set. And the match. Set and match. 3 balls. And there goes the 8 ball. Not the easiest 9 ball, But that all set it up with that first shot. I'm sure he wanted to stop it because that angle on the 8. Overcut it. Oh, no, he made it. Oh, scratch. Oh, nope. That's the set and match. Congratulations to David Hoppa. He moves on to round 2 of the next knockout tournament. And then I will be signing off as soon as the computer pops up. I hope everybody has a great rest of their night. You're welcome, Fred.